I'm here with Brandon Derrow, and we're here at Riverhead Raceway tonight with his monster truck. How are you tonight?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
All right. How did you get started with your monster truck?
Well, it all started as a dream ever since I was a little kid. And my father, which is actually with me this weekend, he took me to my first show when I was a year and a half old in Fishersville, Virginia, which is real close to where I grew up. And so this is a truck that I grew up watching, loved it, and heard it was for sale in 2011 out of Bronson, Florida. And one thing led to another, and going through a bunch of banks, and the banks kept turning me down, saying it's way too much money to spend on something like this, because if they had to repossess it, what in the world was they going to do with it? And so just kept pushing, kept fighting, and then one thing led to another, worked something out with my parents, and here we are 11 years later. We're still piloting the truck all over the United States, going from the East Coast to West Coast. We don't do so much on the West Coast anymore. I've got 2 children now. But we stay on the East Coast mainly. This is an annual stop on the tour. The KSR Motorsports Tour is right here in Riverhead, and so we're excited to be back.
So do you have any influences that you look up to as far as the monster trucks?
Of course, yeah. I grew up, Bigfoot and Gravedigger. Those are the big guys, when I was a kid. And those drivers, I looked up to all those drivers. They were my heroes. And I've had the honor over the years of racing against quite a few of those heroes. And actually on Tuesday, there's a gentleman named Deal Wilson that had the Virginia Giant monster truck back in the day. He's going to be the promoter for the show that we're going to on Tuesday. And so it's really cool how everything's came full circle, growing up as a fan, and now you're getting to race and kind of work partnership, side by side with these guys that you grew up idolizing.
Could you tell me a little bit about that? What was that like for you, racing up against somebody that you idolized?
Just a dream come true. It just felt surreal, like this shouldn't even be happening, And just like the first time I ever crushed cars with this thing, it's just an unreal feeling. I've rode a lot of fast jet skis, motorcycles, things like that, but nothing compares to the adrenaline rush that you get out of something like this. It does things that something 11,000 pounds shouldn't be able to do, crush cars and get the crazy air and the donuts and everything. A lot of the stuff they'll see out here tonight, all these awesome fans that come out. So this is one of our favorite stops because of the asphalt infield. We do a lot of tracks, but it's got the grass infield. This is all asphalt here to where we can actually get these 66-inch tires smoking, and it's just amazing to see.
Could you tell me about any of the accidents that you've been in? What was that like?
Well, knock on wood, it's been quite a few years since we've actually had an accident or rolled over the truck. But those things do happen and will happen. That's why these things are just top-notch as far as safety goes. We've got the 5-point harness, a full roll cage. Just in case something bad were to happen, we're protected more in this thing than we are probably in a passenger vehicle going down the road, And so it's just one of those things. You go out, I always get nervous before a show. I still do, but they say that's good. When the nervousness goes away, then it's probably time to get out of it. But you always have the butterflies, the nerves going, before each show. It doesn't matter if it's a county fair show, a Monster Jam Stadium show, the butterflies are always still there. And we've rolled it 6 times in 11 years since we've had the truck. So there for a while, we went in spurts, we'd roll it 4 times and then we wait a couple of years and then we roll it 2 more times back to back. And so when we start rolling it and tearing stuff up, we go on a tearing up spree, or we start tearing up quite a bit at one time.
Could you tell me a little bit about how the fans affect, whether it be how you perform or your mentality? How do you feed off the energy of the fans in the crowd?
Well, the fans is pretty much what drives me to go out here and do what we do, because there's a lot of long hours, nights at the garage, getting this thing ready. And it's not so much for us, it's for all these awesome fans, because if it wouldn't be for the fans paying their hard-earned money to come out and see us race and compete, we wouldn't even be here anyways. And so the reason why the fans are special to me is for, 22 years, I was a big monster truck fan myself. I sit in these stands like this, and was cheering on these drivers and these trucks and everything. It was just in awe of what they did out there. And so it's came full circle, like I said, for me. And that's why, and right here in Riverhead, some of the most awesome fans on the whole East Coast for sure, because after the show tonight, after we go out and freestyle, the people just come back here and just swarm the pit. You get to meet all these awesome people. And it's always a packed house here every time we come here anyways. And so this year we're fortunate enough to be able to come here twice. So we'll be here tonight and then we'll be here next month also. And so we're definitely looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We look at this date every year on the calendar and think, man, it's going to be an awesome stop for us right there in Riverhead. So we can't wait.
All right. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.